Always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the podcast. And I was thinking to myself today, what can I share of value today on the podcast? What can I talk about today that has some value that people can use? What is something that I have learned that I could share with other people that they could use and it would benefit their life in a positive way? What could I do to make today's podcast great? Those are great, empowering questions. And that's when I came up with a concept that I learned a long time ago. Ask powerful questions. My wife and I, we both learned this originally from Tony Robbins, who at his seminar, he said, come up with morning questions. See, the brain works. The brain always works. And 99.9% of the people, they're not broken. It's just their thinking is broken. What they're saying to themselves, what they're asking themselves, their questions, their map of the world is broken. But your brain always works 100% of the time. For most of us, 99% of us, the brain works. When you ask your brain a question, it will search for the answer to the question every single time. When you ask it a question, it never argues with you. If you ask your brain by saying these things out loud or to yourself in your self-talk, why am I such an idiot? Your brain doesn't go, wait a minute, look what you've done, look what you've accomplished, look at the great things that are going on in your life. Wait a minute, you are not an idiot. You're far from it. No, your brain looks for a reason why you're an idiot. So don't ask those disempowering questions. So now we're in total control of changing our questions. The brain reacts to our beliefs. Whatever we tell our brain that we do believe in, then the brain will always be searching for reasons to support that belief. So we want to make sure that we have good belief systems, and part of having a good belief system is having powerful questions to ask ourselves on a daily basis. So my wife and I both came up with morning questions, and you can do the same. What we did was, per Tony Robbins' suggestion, when you get up in the morning, start right away with asking yourself powerful questions. And we came up, I think, with 5 questions. So we even put them up on our mirror. So we went to the bathroom to brush our teeth. We looked at our questions, and right away, we asked the questions, what am I most grateful for in my life? And your brain will start coming up with reasons. Why am I so grateful? What am I most grateful for in my life? Oh, my health. I'm healthy. Geez, my parents are still alive, or my mom is still alive, my dad is still alive, my family's healthy. You're going to come up with reasons why you should or can be grateful. It's another powerful question. How can I make today a great day? What can I do today? How can I be a supportive wife, husband, mother, father, daughter, brother, sister? And you can start to come up with reasons. So powerful questions. You could probably take your different roles that you have throughout your day. That we all have different roles. Okay, one of us is maybe a wife or a husband. How can I be better in that role today? What can I do today to support that? Okay. Today, I work at the post office. What can I do today at the post office to make my day better? What can I do to help the people I work with? That's your work role. Then you got your spouse, a husband. Maybe you're a father or a mother. And what can I do today to be a better father? What can I do? And it doesn't even matter how old your kids are. Maybe they're 35 years old. I can give them a call. I can send them a message. I can send them an email. Hey, how's it going? You're going to come up with powerful reasons. I want you to take that. I want you to take this question with you all day today. Use this question. If you just want to start with one question and take it with you wherever you go today. What's good about this? What's good about this? This is a question you should have with you in your hip pocket at all times, and you can Put it into play every day, maybe several times a day. What's good about this when you're faced with an adversity? Another key concept that I learned, and it really is true, through every adversity, there's an equal or greater opportunity if we'll just look for it. Because sometimes life happens, bad things happen, and it's hard to look at bad things, challenges, adversities with the perspective of what's good about this. But it can change your state. And that's important when we're facing really big challenges and adversities. Sometimes we need to change our state because we might find ourselves, just based on the circumstances that we're being confronted with, going down a really bad hole. So by asking questions, we're already employing two key strategies for changing our state instantaneously. The major strategies for changing our state, if we'll employ them all together, is, change our physiology, how we're moving our body, make a powerful move. That's one thing we do to change our state. If you ask somebody the question, what would you do if you wanted to look depressed? What if you wanted to get into a state of depression? What would you do with your body? And in most cases, people are going to come up with, I would slouch my shoulders, my head would be down. Maybe I would, walk slowly. And so what do we do we can counteract that by doing exactly the opposite. We put our shoulders back, right? Maybe we can smile, right? Our motion affects our emotion. So we change our physiology. But when we're asking questions, that changes our focus. And so when we want to change state, we change physiology, change focus, and we change what we're telling ourselves. So as soon as you start asking empowering questions, you're already changing your state because you're putting into play a change of focus. So changing questions will change your focus. So when you ask yourself, what's good about this? Now you've changed your focus from the negativity you're being confronted with, and you're looking. You're on the hunt for something that's good in this, and you have to look for it because in some cases, you could tell yourself, there's nothing good about this. But in every situation, there are better choices to make. Even though all choices could be bad, one is better than the other. So we're changing our focus when we change and ask powerful questions. And the third thing is how we talk to ourselves, what we're saying to ourselves. And so if our questions are of a positive nature, powerful questions, automatically what we're saying to ourselves is in a positive direction. And we can keep ourselves, or we can change ourselves into a more powerful state. And you can start employing this no matter what happens to you, because life happens no matter what our intentions are. And when we're in expectation and that doesn't get met, that's when frustration, anger, or feeling bad can come into play. You get a flat tire? Throw in the question, what's good about this? Initially, there may not be anything good about it. We have to look for it. Well, I'm going to get new tires now. I know I needed to get new tires, but now I'm going to be forced into it. I'm at least going to get one new tire or a different tire. So what's good about this? You can even make up a story in your own head. Maybe God interceded and gave me this flat tire as a gift. Maybe I was going to go down the road and a tractor trailer was going to hit me and kill me. You can even start feeling good about yourself getting a flat tire. Change the story that you're putting in your head, right? All of us start putting stories in our head that many times aren't true, and it puts us in a negative state. Put a story in your head that's not true that puts you in a positive state. These are tricks that you can use as strategies to change your state of mind and confront challenges in a more positive way. I've done this for the past 25 years, and it has helped me in millions and millions of circumstances. I'm not exaggerating. When I learned this and I started employing it on a daily basis, it changed my life completely. Completely. I remember working as a deputy sheriff and I got a late call. My expectations, I was about to get off in about 30 minutes. And I had plans that evening. I'll never forget that day. But as I was learning these things, I had more and more opportunity to apply them, to put them into play. Let's see the results I'm going to get Now, I've learned all these things, and learning is great, but as a philosopher of living greatly, we don't want to be a philosopher that just puts books on a shelf. No, we're going to be someone who learns and applies. So I remember driving in my sheriff's car on the freeway, 30 minutes to get off, and I was in a great state of mind. And I got the late call. It was a rape report call, and I was reporting to the hospital. Now, those calls, you automatically know that you're going to be 3 to 4 hours at a minimum to complete the call. It is a strategy of dispatchers who have the philosophy, why would I tie up a patrol car coming on when I can tie up a patrol car that's going off? On a call like this, it's going to take one of my field units out of play for several hours. Now, that can be frustrating since I was planning on being off duty, and here I got this call. Immediately, I said, okay, what's good about this? What is good about this? I'm going to be at the hospital. I'm going to have about 3 hours of downtime because the victim of the call, they're going to call a female officer to interview the victim. The sheriff's department was very, very good on having policies in place to properly handle calls, and so that the victim would feel comfortable. A female victim in a rape call does not really want to be. You shouldn't have, unless it's absolutely necessary. You don't want a male officer interviewing the female victim. So a female officer is going to come interview the victim, and they're going to write a supplemental report to me. And then when the evidence is gathered, I'm taking that with me from the hospital, and I take it back to the station, and I book that evidence. Okay, so what's good about this? I'm going to be at the hospital for about 3 hours. I have 3 reports that I still haven't gotten to yet that I have to finish up, that I got the day before. Now, not only am I going to have 3 hours to finish these reports, I'm going to get paid time and a half to finish these. There's going to be no other calls to bother me. Once you're on one of those calls, the dispatcher already knows you're out of play. The sergeant knows when you call, hey, I'm on a rape call, I'm going to be here for the duration on overtime. Absolutely. They already know it. You're already approved. You're actually now sequestered at the hospital, where for a couple hours, your only job is to wait. And in that waiting time, there's always a place you can find, which I did, finish my reports. What's good about this? I got to finish all my reports. I got paid time and a half. This overtime call is going to net me about $300. What's good about this is now I can think how I'm going to spend that money. Maybe I'm going to take a trip to Las Vegas. Powerful questions. Put it into play. Start using this today. I'm going to tell you, just try it out. See what kind of results you get from that question. What's good about this? Changing your questions is just another way of changing your thinking. And that's the only way you're going to change your life in a more positive way or get to the next level is by changing your thinking. Because when you change your thinking, that's when you'll change your actions, and that's when you're going to change your results. So asking powerful questions is going to be a key part of that. I am telling you, employ this as soon as you can. Either right now, start asking that question when it's applicable. Starting right now, ask that question whenever you get the opportunity. What's good about this? Tie that with another thought in your mind. Through every adversity, there's an equal or greater opportunity if I'll just look for it. Employ those 2 key ideas in your thinking. It's going to change your life in a positive way. I guarantee it. Just try it out. Check the results. And if you've already done that, leave me a comment. And I want to know what kind of results you've gotten from asking yourself powerful questions. Use the ideas of questions also for helping other people. You're going to be with other people. You're going to be around family. You're going to be around friends. They're going to be confronted with challenges, and maybe you can influence them with this question. Well, they ask you for help. Well, let's think about, what's good about this? Well, this could be good. This part, and in a way, you're going to be influenced their state of mind. I've done this many times, and I've had people, I never thought about it that way. Ask powerful questions. I want you to employ this principle starting right now, today, and I just did it right now in my head. By doing this podcast on the subject of powerful questions, I asked myself, what's good about doing this? What's good about this is I'm thinking about these powerful questions again. And sometimes we get away from doing these things. See, initially we got up in the morning, we had our powerful questions written down. Eventually this becomes habituated and you start asking yourself powerful questions in the morning. You don't need it written down. You don't need it up on your mirror. But then sometimes you can veer away from that habit. And I notice I have done that. And now by sharing these thoughts with you, the power of questions, starting tomorrow morning, I'm going to make sure that I have 5 specific, empowering questions that I'm going to ask myself on a daily basis. I'm going to write it down in my weekly goals, monthly goals, and for the rest of this year, I'm going to have powerful morning questions. You can do the same. Hey, thanks for checking in. If you're listening on a podcast platform, please subscribe, leave some comments. It helps the algorithms, and then the computer will show this podcast to other people. If you're watching and or listening on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Share this with somebody who needs to hear it, and that's going to help also. Hey, you're great. Great things are going to happen for you. Cliff Yates.